Hey guys, it's me, the Ninja Reviewer, once again bringing you another exciting edition of the 12 Days of Anime, day number 4. On the 4th day of anime, my waifu gave to me the best villain of 2016. And this is my favorite anime villain of 2016. Here we go with Yoshikage Killer from JOJO's Diamond is Unbreakable. Speaking of which, I'm going to review the episode a bit aside, but since I'm getting onto that JOJO, since I just watched the episode recently, which I cannot wait. Next week is the final episode. I'm really excited. You will see a live reaction and a review of the episode next week. I'm going to try and get it done as early as I can because it's a rough weekend because of Christmas Eve weekend / Christmas Day, so it's going to be a little hard for me to, just to give you guys an update. I will do on that day, but depending how long I will have the episode, the video out, will probably be sometime on Christmas Eve. So as a little Christmas tree, not only is 12 Days of Anime, etc., but I will have Diamond is Unbreakable as well, the live reaction review of the finale of Diamond is Unbreakable, which will be up next week. But anyway, let's talk about Yoshikage Kira. I love this villain. This villain is simply amazing, and for many reasons. One, this dude wants to live a very quiet life. In fact, it's so quiet, it's completely fucked up, because this is the guy who pretty much just likes to pretty much kill beautiful women, take their hands as a corpse, and have as much fun with it as he can, in order, for him to complete satisfaction until it rots away. Then he'll have to find a new victim, etc., etc. But his fetishes may be a bit kind of creepy and out of this fucked up imagination. But here's another thing. The second thing is that his stand, Killer Queen, is the most ridiculously OP broken stand that we can possibly have. First of all, you think Dio Zodworldo is actually much more of a threat? Well, you thought wrong. Now, I thought Zodworldo was the most ridiculously broken fucking stand, but when you have a user that can actually have his final form actually rewind the time from the moment they got exposed of his identity, so that way he can reverse the day, starts all over again, just so that no one can know his identity. Because if you find out who is it, because he sets up this trap, right? And it's pretty much like a bomb, like a booby trap, where basically if you find out his identity, the stand itself will go directly into your eye, and you will no longer, see the actual identity of who the real Kira is. Because if you remember back, so basically at the very beginning, he was a murderer. He was the main villain that they had to defeat in Diamond is Unbreakable. The thing is, though, is that when it comes to him being quiet life, Jotaro and Josuke and them basically have to find his identity or just find the person, responsible, for the arrow, etc., even though he wasn't the one that was responsible, it was his father. Basically, they finally find who this person really is that's committing and, starting up all these stand users, with the murders and etc. And once they finally do, that's the reason why Kira looks like the way he does now. The first time around, he just had Killer Queen. But, since Sugichi pretty much found out his identity, it's like, oh fuck. Once that happened, he had to go night-night. So he basically set it up to where if he sets up anything that he touches, it's automatically a bomb. So meaning he was pretty much screwed. And once he actually touched the knob, he pretty much exploded and, he just died. And that's basically what happened. So when that happened, Jotaro and them finally found out exactly what was going on, because Koichi finally found out, his true identity. He finally found out using echoes, and that's when the echoes had that evolvement, when he evolved, etc. So yeah, so technically when they found his real identity, when they actually fought him, he was actually a pretty huge threat. However, though, not when it comes to Jotaro, though, especially because he can use Zodworldo and Star Platinum, which I think having two of those abilities can make you quite ridiculously overpowered, to be perfectly honest. Because having two of those stands is asking for too much. You're gonna have two powers of the stand. You're gonna have fucking Star Platinum and Zawaldo, which is like two of the most powerful powerful OP stands in JoJo of all time, and in one person in Jotaro. It's like, see, this is why Jotaro can't die that easily, unless, I don't know if he does in the future parts, but it's hard for someone like Jotaro to die so easily because of that reason. It's because his stand, and plus, especially him himself, like, he's a person that doesn't really give up too easily, and his stand does whatever it can to protect his user. So Star Platinum and Jotaro are actually pretty close, and because of that, he actually, whipped his ass, because Kira, the thing about Kira, though, is that he's not really a fighter. In fact, what's so different about him compared to Dio is that he's a strategist. Like, he knows exactly the right strategies in order to actually, fight off his opponents, like a game of chess, pretty much. So basically, that's what he sets up to be. And when they pretty much fucked up his body, he was trying to fake it off at first, saying like, this guy, this murderer, was freaking, he's crazy, he's a crazy person, he tried to kill me, help me. But basically, no. What happened is that basically, no, the thing is too, they also saw his second stand as well. Oh, well, I'll get to that in a second. But his second stand is sheer heart attack. And in case you're wondering, yes, most of Kira's stand abilities are named after the famous band Queen and their songs. Killer Queen, which is a song from them, so is Sheer Heart Attack, and the final form, Another One Bites the Dust. Boom, boom, boom. Another One Bites the Dust. Yep, his final fucking form, which is Bite the Dusto, is pretty much, oh my god, I'll explain that in a bit though, but his other ability, which is Sheer Heart Attack, is basically a grenade bomb that can actually sneak around any parts of your body without you even realizing it. So if you're not a stand user, you're wondering, where the fuck are my fingers? What the fuck? And then he's like, and you're like exploding. And it's basically, like, this thing can also create a fucking barrier. It can create a fucking barrier. And it's hard as a rock. So even if you try to hit it or stop it, it's unstoppable. Like, it's uncontrollable. It's very hard to destroy such like a thing. Like, it's made from some kind of material. I don't remember exactly what it was. But when it comes to that, though, it was very hard for not only Jotaro, but like Koichi and that. It was hard to break it because its shield was like impenetrable. So it was hard for it because it had a really strong defense. Until Jotaro, well, Yoshikage wasn't able to do anything, but Jotaro actually was the one that actually, stepped it up and actually, found a way to use Star Platinum and Zawaldo, and then basically, destroyed, stopped, Sheer Heart Attack. And then finally, the reason why he gained the ability Bite the Dusto, now, the other final form, but I want to explain, Bite the Dusto, like I mentioned before, he got that power from his father after he used the arrow, because he realized, what am I going to do with this? So it's like, wait a minute, I got an idea. So he used his father's arrow, like the one that they got from, Inoba back from part 3, and basically he was the one that was also creating all the stand users for not interfering with Kira's plan. And before that, Kira had to switch bodies in the most disgusting way possible. He actually had to go out there by basically finding another body, putting on its fucking skin. Their actual skin, and it's nasty. Like, what the fuck? Like, it is nasty as hell. So what happens is that he actually did that to pretty much do that. Well, actually, no. He killed the original body's owner. He actually killed him and actually took his body. And literally, like, so, he used Cinderella, etc. to give him the makeover that he needed. So what happened is that he used it all to, pretty much get rid of his old body, and he got a brand new body pretty much in general. So that's exactly what happened. So with Kira's, old body about to rot, he had to use that person's body in order to, successfully, become more valuable to Yoshikage and them. And his new form, which is Bite the Dusto, is actually something that when you get his identity again, he can rewind time back to where the day first started. And then you're the only one that's going to remember everything, but except everyone else is going to think you're pretty fucking crazy, and this whole deja vu thing is going to keep repeating over and over and over and over and over again. Like, it's going to repeat itself over and over. Like, that's pretty fucking deep. That's actually pretty damn dark. Like, actually seeing the same reality over and over and over again. That's pretty fucking crazy just to relive all that shit. So yeah, when it comes to Kira and when it comes to his abilities, you know, that's why I really like him as a JoJo, as also as a JoJo villain. He's starting to become one of my top favorites now, because I love his stand. I mean, I like how it has 3 forms, because I never really had a stand that had 3 forms. Like, not 3 forms, but like, well, 3 forms of attacks. You got Killer Queen, you got Sheer Heart Attack, and Bite the Dustu. So instead of just Dio having like Zerwaldo and having, well, then again, he used stuff from anything after he stopped time and made it into like his own attacks or whatever. But here, those attacks were already created by Kira himself, so that was actually pretty cool. And he has these really weird obsessions of like collecting his toenails and shit. He's a weirdo, but that's why I like him so much. He's a fucking weirdo. And not only that, he's a pretty fucking weird dude, but he also like collects like all these weird shit, and it's like, I don't know. Like, this dude, like, he's not like the Kira from Death Note, where he basically just wants to become, like, you know, God by killing all the people on this planet. No, this guy is a whole different fucked up compared to that Kira. Compared to, you know, Light Yagami from fucking Death Note, this dude is a murderer just for sake of being a murderer. Pretty much. He's pretty much a murderer just for sake of being a murderer. But, well, his victims are pretty much obviously really young girls, and pretty much he doesn't want to deal with any girls that are alive. He was always obsessed with pretty much fucking corpses and shit like that. He's always obsessed because he figures that he tries to fit in with some girls, it just doesn't work. He wants to live quiet. Like, he wants to pretend that the girl's voice, you know, is in his head. Like, he's demented. That's pretty much how he is. But at the end of the day, that's the way he is. He wants to live a quiet life. He doesn't want nobody to know his business. He just wants to be a guy with his own little sick fetishes or whatever he is. But, you know, technically in this world, it's like, oh no, it's fucked up. We have to kill you. So, then again, he did kill innocents of people. So, you know, of course, you know, you have to find out because he's a fucking murderer. So, regardless, yeah. So that's pretty much it when it comes to this edition of the 12 Days of Anime. Definitely Kira being one of my favorite villains because he's super badass, man. Like, he really is. And he's really, really good at planning shit. Like, he knows how to plan shit out. You know, he's not like a really... Well, he is a fighter, but he only fights people that are he only fights people that are basically knowing his identity. Like, the only people who see his identity are the ones he fights. Usually he's not a fighter, he's a strategist, but he only fights when they get in his way of actually pretty much, you know, finding out his plans and whatnot. So again, very smart man, very smart strategic fighter. Up close combat, he is pretty damn good, only when he wants to get serious when it comes to, you know, not trying to, you know, stop him from doing, you know, what he does best. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, who your favorite villain is. Yeah, so let me know in the comments on who your favorite villain is for anything of anime, manga, etc. this year. And as always, I'll see you guys next time for day number 5 of the 12 Days of Anime. So don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe as always. This is Ninja Reviewer signing out. Peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky is the limit. Anime manga fans, keep supporting what you read and what you watch. And as always, happy holidays. See you guys for day number 5. Bye-bye.